Hello and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Giselle and I am currently carrying out an experiment in which I have turned myself into a sim who is living parallel lives that prove how the law of assumption is always working in our day-to-day and how we can technically shift our whole lives one assumption at a time. Our last episode ended rather sadly for our sim in reality version 1, with almost no money, disillusioned at her job and with not much going for her. She is yet to afford to make any upgrades to her tiny house and will likely not afford the bills which are soon arriving in the mail. Also, she might have to fire her maid, not because they are not good at their job, but because she can't afford to pay them. Meanwhile, her twin sim in version 2, despite starting out in the same house with the same funds and same traits, has made much more headway in life. The one thing she did differently was say goodbye to the corporate world and believe she could make it as an artist, and voila, one assumption change led her down a path where she is envisioning riches, a comfortable house, time for her pet cat Sushi, and likely even an art studio separate from her tiny home. Now, if only she could get through to her alter ego and convince her to leave that much hated job that is leading nowhere. You might remember me saying at the end of the last episode how you should stay tuned to see what happens next for our version 1 sim. Well, the truth is, I am not the kind of sim player who puts their sims in the pool and removes the leather, or else feeds them to the cow plant. Rather, I feel too much for my pixel humans and pets, so it is breaking my heart to see the sim in version 1 always dazed, burnt out, and generally never catching a break. So, rather than feature both realities, this episode will focus exclusively on version 1, where by the end of the episode, depending on how our sim fares, she might get deleted altogether. A far more merciful fate than what has been the one she has lived up to now, in my opinion. Don't worry, I won't let Sushi disappear into the void, I will get her adopted. As those of you who play The Sims 4 probably know, there have been some updates this week because of the new pack that's just out. It always happens before a new pack comes out. First an update, and then everyone is complaining about the mess and the bugs that came with it. And so then the day before the release, or a few hours before the release of the pack, they usually update again. And here's the first thing I noticed in this version of The Sims after the update. Wait, what? What happened to her cat? It was a Siamese. Oh, blasted update. It was fine in the other save since the update. Yeah, it's Sushi, alright. Just change the color. And then something really surprising happened. Now, it was either that the thought of having to delete her made me try to help her more than before, else, seems like the sim heard me say that this is her last chance before I delete her if she continues to be miserable. Look, she's happy now. Oh, poor Sushi. Look, she matches her shoes now. She's got black cat shoes. Animal clothing! I thought she could sew something to put on Sushi, but it turned out after she finished that it was for chickens, not for pet cat. So she ended up selling the item later to help pay her bills. So she's off to work and the maid should be coming. So she's gonna be doing better now, it seems. Maybe she needed that push. You know, she knew she has to do better or she's getting deleted and she decided to do her best now. She will lose her career progress, but she doesn't have any career progress right now anyway. Right. Giselle knows who the business stands adore, and it is her. She writes the article. It is widely praised, and Giselle gets the fame. It isn't praised internally, and Giselle has let her work slip. She gets demoted. So she got fired basically because she was already on the bottom rung, so there was nowhere to get demoted to. Okay, right. Yeah. Well, maybe it's a sign. So, as I said, let's take this as a sign. I'm thinking. Now, let's see if she can get. She can. She's gonna try this path. I mean, at least till she figures out what else she can do that she would be good at. But this she would be good at. Or she could also be good at. She would be good as a programmer. Don't forget, these sims were based off myself initially, and then we had the timeline split into two so that one of them could remain with my old assumption that I should only look for office jobs and that's where I would excel, whilst the other, Giselle, changed her assumption and decided to try out new things and things she loves, which is where I am right now in my own life. But this is the Giselle who is still quite reserved, and I've always liked programming. In fact, when I was smaller, I did want to be a programmer. So I was thinking maybe I should get her in the programming career, but I think she would esports gamer and startup. I don't know if she would need more than just programming skills, whether she need to be good at tech as well, but we could try. Then again, she's got quite a full work week again. Maybe, well, she needs the money because she can't even pay her bills. So, yeah, for now, she's gonna have to be a tech guru. Can she also do the part time job? We could try and see. I'm just experimenting at this point. So, that's her new job. Oh, she needs to play video games. Yeah, that's good because she can get aspiration points while playing video games, and she can also see if she can stream for money. Let's see what it says. So, like, if I do this, it's not the same time. Oh. No, she can do both, even though they're not at the same time. She's gonna play Sims.
Scarborough.
She doesn't have money to pay her bills, and she was given 24 hours to pay the bills. She could sell this. It's on Plopsy, but she got, like, no one is buying, so let's see if she can still, yeah, she can still sell it. So that's some money there. She needs more. I don't want her to sell this, I like it. I'm not selling that. She doesn't want to sell anything, really. In the end, she tried getting an odd job to try and make some money in the immediate, just to pay the bills and afford her maid, because I don't know what happens if you don't manage to pay the maid, if you don't have enough money. I mean, as far as I know, in previous versions, the the NPC, the maid, would swipe something for the value of the service given, but I'm not sure whether that's how it works anymore. And I don't want her to lose any of the items she's got. I don't want the maid to go off with her nice big crystal or, the cat's food bowl or something. At this point, the update started causing me issues again. My sim got mostly stuck. I played from the Tuesday night till Thursday 1 a.m. With her mostly stuck and being reset, with her unable to go to work, but then the boss is calling because, listen, you've not been to work and things like that. And also, for some reason, the although I could see the visuals changing and my recording program was on, there seemed to be some issue and the visual output was not going into my recording program, so I cannot even show footage. What I can say is that this has by far been the most pleasant gameplay for my version 1 sim. I have not enjoyed playing with her from the beginning till last episode, when I didn't seem to be able to get her to have a good life, and things just kept, she just kept rushing against time and having issues and getting fired. She did get fired even at the start of this episode, but it turned out to be a godsend, I guess, because it veered her towards a new path in her life. One last thing for this episode before we end. I would like to make Sushi downloadable from the gallery, but I would like her to be in a household on her own, separate from my sim. If anyone knows how to do that, please comment below giving me instructions, because as yet I have been unable to put pets in a household without any human sims to take care of them. And on that note, we end this episode, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe not to miss when the next episode comes out.